Hey everybody, it's your boy Jay Alabaster. Just want to say, hey, how's everybody doing? Um, First of all, I want to thank all my subscribers and new subscribers. I also want to thank my new followers on Twitter as well as Instagram. Um, I know we don't do YouTube rants, but this one I had to do because it's been on my mind, so I might as well just get off my chest. Um, as some of y'all know, I went back to school full time. I go to Cheney University. I studied business administration. I'm basically reliving a dream that I've always wanted, that I've always had in mind, which is to go back to school and get my degree, particularly at a HBCU. What I didn't tell some of you was that when I applied for financial aid, excuse me, before I had got let go from my job, I applied for financial aid, did all my paperwork. When I went to go to financial aid to see how much I was going to get, they told me that I made too much to get the Pell Grant. You have to be like 7 point something, and I was at like a 12, whatever. But they told me I made too much to get a Pell Grant, so the only thing I qualified for was loans. So I had to take the subsidized and the unsubsidized loan. Um, this really upset me because both loans cover my tuition. It only leaves me with a little bit, maybe about 1,000 or so as a refund. My main goal was to have my student loans, to have at least a refund to cover my rent, and the only thing I have to worry about is just utilities, just car, um, electricity, gas, cell phone, internet, just the basic stuff. Just get a nice part-time job to cover that, and my loans would have been covered with the rent. Now I'm applying for a scholarship at my school. Um, I don't know if I told you this before, but last semester I got a 3.69 GPA. When I went to see somebody about applying for the scholarship, they let me know that, you know, go ahead and apply for it, and we'll just go through the process. Um, and also depends on how much funding we have. We can fund you um, from $1,000 to a full ride. The scholarship is known to be more of a full ride scholarship, but they said that, and I've heard this, and I know the person was, and I know the person was telling me the truth, but they told me that is depending on state funding. They haven't got that much funding from the state. On my way to school, this was 2 weeks ago, I'm listening to the radio, and on the radio I hear that a prison about 30 minutes from Philadelphia is getting expanded. They're adding more beds. Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania's top two industries, the first one is agriculture, and the second one is corrections, aka the prison system. Um, when it came to cuts and spending, they cut education across the board, but they did not cut corrections. They actually left it alone. And then about, I think it was Friday, I'm listening to the radio, and then I hear this. It's actually an article that came from New York Times, and the article says, next made in China boom, college graduates. And a portion of that says, I'll read you a portion of it. This is my computer acts right. It says that okay. It says China is making a $250 billion a year investment in what economists call human capital. Just as the United States helped build a white-collar middle class in the late 1940s and early 1950s using the GI Bill to educate millions of World War II veterans, the Chinese government is using large subsidies to educate tens of millions of young people as they move from farms to cities. And I'll put the link of the article in at the bottom of the video. And I was telling my mother, and she heard this, and everybody knows it very famously, that if you want to go to get a free education, to get free health care, to get free room and board, just go to jail. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get like somebody like me who has a clean record, has pretty good credit, who pays his bills, who works, who does what he's supposed to do in society and I do a good job of what I'm doing. I don't have any children to that the system has to take care of. The system has to never take care of me. In fact, I didn't even file for unemployment. That's how much I don't want nothing to do with the system. I have not filed for food stamps. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with people who need that help. I'm just saying that I like to be independent and I like to take care of myself. I like to be an asset to society. But what happens when you try your best to be an asset to society, and they just rape you? It's bad enough that I have these student loans, which the rate is probably going to be high by the time I graduate. For me to even get back to college, what I had to do was to work I had a full-time job. I had to work another part-time job to be part of their rehab program because my student loans went default about 7 years ago. So after being in a default program and after being in the rehab program and paying it off, a little bit off monthly to prove that to get my financial aid back, this is the things I get that, I can't get a grant, but I have to take out loans. And what's so funny is people brag about how, President Obama, he gave so and such money to the HBCUs. And I'm like, I know he did, but I'm not getting it because I make too much money. Yeah, they probably gave more money for Pell Grants to HBCUs, but I didn't get it. So it didn't benefit me no way. And it's just upsetting that I want to be able to pursue my education full time. I don't want to work a lot, but the way it looks like right now, if I don't get this scholarship, I will have to go back to work full time and work a full-time job, and I don't want to do that. And it's a nightmare, and it pisses me off a lot because right now I'm doing the essay, and it's like I have to do an essay, I have to do letters of recommendation, I have to get references, which I do have them, just for me to get a decent amount of money to go back to school. But if I commit a crime, all I gotta do is commit a crime, some type of felony, a minor drug charge at that, because 17% of Graterford is made of minor drug charges. The major charges like assault, rape, murder is probably, most of them are less than 7%. I know that murder is about 2%. But the majority of people that are in Graterford prison are minor drug charges. So all I gotta do is, I don't know how I would do it, but I'll have to just commit some sort of minor drug charge for me to get a full ride. For me to even, there are people who graduate. There are people who get out of prison with PhDs. I'm trying to get my bachelor's, and that's just hard work in itself. And then I'll tell my mother when I go to grad school, that's about $75,000 just for the first year. $75,000 just for the first year. So if you want to go to school, get your education, be taken care of, go to jail. Seems like that's a simple process. Well, that's all I had to say, y'all. Sorry for taking so long on this video. I'll keep y'all up and up, and hopefully you'll get some better videos from me, but I just had to get it off my chest. Other than that, y'all take care. God bless. Bye.